All right, this is big time. Coming at you with some more crime out of Philly. Going to cover a couple crimes that happened in Chicago and Philly, so kind of low-hanging fruit, to be honest. But when you watch the left-leaning media, they're going to tell you none of it's happening. It's oh, guys, it's a Republican conspiracy theory. Not that the Republicans are doing anything either. You have to actually have a spine to do something. So let's get right to it. We're going to have some crime out of Chicago, some crime out of Philly. We're going to cover, they had an interview with that guard from the North Philly Indian-owned gas station. We're going to cover that. And then, of course, we'll end with our new section. They're coming for your kids. Let me share my screen here. 1 second. Here we go.
36-year-old woman is in good condition here at Illinois Masonic Hospital after she was attacked earlier this morning during an armed robbery. Now, Chicago police say the attack happened just before 4 o'clock this morning on the 3100 block of West Grace on the northwest side when 3 men got out of a silver sedan with guns. The suspects then demanded the woman's belongings.
So 4 in the morning, men with guns are driving around looking for an easy Vic.
CPD says she gave the men what they asked for, but was then struck on the head before the suspects took off. Now, there have been at least 5 similar armed robberies this morning, some involving a silver sedan. Now, police have not yet confirmed if
super predators.
They are connected. The first was reported at 3 a.m. on the 2600 block of West Rice Street, and the latest on the 2300 block of West Superior at 4 a.m. In each case, police say the armed suspects approached victims demanding wallets and purses. We're told one of the victims was cut, but none of the others, fortunately, were seriously injured.
This time. All right. Let's go back. And so that was 5 robberies in an hour. Oh, but don't worry. The black community is getting very proficient at robberies. There's another story coming right out of Wakanda or Chirac.
A black Kia SUV pulled up armed with a gun, demanding the belongings.
It's terrifying.
Walking along this stretch of Ashland Avenue in Wicker Park.
I don't feel safe walking alone at night unless I have pepper spray.
For some, now.
Oh, pepper spray. Let's go back. Oh, you're a dumb bitch, aren't you? Oh, what? Who told? Oh, my God. Pepper spray. That's the typical white woman's idea of how to defend yourself. Pepper spray. You need a gun. And even then, I don't even, that's not a guarantee. It's just that now you're on equal terms with the person who's trying to rob you. Pepper spray? Let me guess. She keeps it in her backpack, right? It's not like it's right in her hand as she's walking. Oh, my God. And no one's ever told this dumb bitch that she's a dumb bitch. Pepper spray. Oh, my. Okay. You'll be a statistic one day. Don't worry. I'll cover your story when you're dead.
For some, now comes with a lingering fear.
It's sad that no matter where you are, you have to be vigilant.
The safety concerns come as Chicago.
What is that going to do? So you're going to see the person walking up to you. I bet you're not afraid. I bet you're too afraid to cross the street. That might be racist.
Chicago police investigate nearly a dozen armed robberies that happened within 4 hours of each other. The crime spree, investigators say, beginning just after 2 a.m. and ending right before.
So in the one story, we had 5 robberies in an hour. And then in this story, we have 11 robberies in 4 hours. And you wonder why people leave. And you wonder why there's white flight and Asian flight and Latino flight. And you wonder why people leave the community. And they don't want to be involved because why would you want to live somewhere where you have to constantly be on edge? Why would you want to live somewhere where your life is threatened every day, just trying to go to work, just trying to live, you know? Why would you want to live there? You don't have to live there. Is diversity worth being shot from the black community? Oh, that's right. I forgot. It's Asians who committed all these crimes, right? Yeah, okay.
6:30 a.m. on Wednesday.
No matter where you are, you go to any box store, you can see them ramping up their security measures for theft and things, and you know that if it's harder for them to get anything from there, they're going to find it from somebody on the street.
In each incident,
That's correct. That's correct.
police tell us
And we're covering things like that. Like right out of Philly, I have an interview with the guy who's the head of security now at this gas station. And it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Well, we'll get to that.
the suspect pulled up in a black Kia SUV and got out armed with a gun, wearing dark clothing, a hoodie, and a black ski mask. The overnight attacks now keeping residents on guard.
Always pay attention, because you never know what's going on behind you, to the side of you, or who's coming out of.
And what is pay attention going to do? Why does every white person say this? Just about every white person, or black people, oh, be aware of your surroundings. Do you have a gun? Okay, you see the criminal. Good job. You're smarter than most teenagers who walk around on their phones. Okay, good job. Now what? Okay, you see a suspicious person who, in this case, I mean, a black person wearing a pooh shiesty mask and a hoodie. I'm crossing the street. My hand's going into my pockets towards my bug. Hey. I mean, what does that even mean? Be aware of your surroundings. Mace, be aware, get a gun. And again, that's not enough. Or leave. Those are really your options. All right. Well, anyway, we do have one good story out of Chicago. Today's defensive gun use. Let me just pull it up here. And again, for anyone new to the channel, this is one of the resources I use. This is the Gun Violence Archive. There have been over 600 mass shootings. I don't condone those. I disavow that. Anybody who just shoots random people for no reason or because they stepped on his shoe or they told them to leave should be put in jail after a jury, after a fair trial with a lawyer for the rest of their lives, or deported to some third world shithole. And there's also been, I think, almost 1,100 defensive gun uses, which the media will never cover. The media will never tell you that there's been practically double the amount of defensive gun uses. Not even Fox. So let's get to the video today. So he had a concealed carry holder blasted 2 wannabe armed robbers, or probably joggers. Good. More carjackers need to get shot by their supposed victims. That's good. When criminals are afraid of citizens, there will be less crime.
Investigating the attack, they say it may have resulted from armed thieves trying to steal a man's car.
And it was like pop, 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 pop.
The moment Kyle Jurgensen.
Ha 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 ha! We live in Chicago. Ha 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 ha! Look how black adjacent we are. Yo, yo, yo! Got my hat on and my chains. Ha 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 ha! We're laughing and smiling. People getting shot everywhere. But Chicago's a great place, right? Chirac. We're so hip and cool. We've always wanted to live near diversity. Yeah, you know that mountain town, that rural area we live in with all those white people and no crime? Oh, that's so square, bro. Diversity. Shootings every day is where it's at.
Heard it. He says he knew it was gunfire.
Fell asleep with the
You're wearing a t-shirt and a hat. You're retarded.
window open and woke up to gunshots and my dog's looking out the window freaking out. Probably heard, I'd say 8 to 9 shots.
The gunshots rang out early this morning
That's nothing. That's the start.
in the heart of the city's loop when Chicago police say a concealed carry license holder exchanged gunfire with two men while a third person jumped out of the victim's car and ran off.
You see
Wow. So they were trying. So it sounds like the person was in the car and the guy fired at the other two. So three people were potentially trying to steal his car. They provided cover fire. He returned fire, which made the criminal stop committing the crime. Oh, that's fascinating. But it's okay, guys. The Democrats want to take your guns. Just give up your guns, guys.
all the smash and grabs that happen in broad daylight. So
By who? By which community? By members of which community? What color? Which demographic? All the smash and grabs? Chicago? Let me guess. It's the small hats, right? All those Ashkenazi small hats are running around. Break it. Oh, wait. Oh, wait. We know who's doing it.
you can be a victim at any time of the day.
The violence erupted just before 4 o'clock Saturday morning
The violence erupted. You like how they talk about that? Like it just magically happened.
near Randolph and Dearborn Streets. Investigators say it was as a 31-year-old man walked to his parked car from a nearby hotel that someone traveling in a red SUV started shooting at him. The man, who authorities
Jesus, they opened fire on the guy. Just opened fire. That's what it sounds like. They didn't even run up to him, gun in your face, give me your keys. They just opened fire.
say has both a legal firearms owner ID card and a concealed carry license, shot back, and the vehicle then sped away.
Wow, fascinating. You mean fighting back scares criminals? Oh, that's crazy. Now listen to what this dumb bitch says. I swear, like, these are white people who just don't get it. They've gone to school their whole life. They've been told they suck. Now they move into an area where people are being shot at to get their car. And listen to what this dumb bitch says.
First moved, there was nothing at all for like a month, and then it got on and off.
We moved to Chicago a month ago and nothing bad was happening. Chicago's been bad for years, you dumb bitch. Why did you move to Chicago? Like these are white people who failed the Darwinism test. I bet they don't even carry, right? They're surprised at the violence. Oh, but it won't happen to me.
Got really bad.
The victim was not hurt, but investigators say moments later, after the shooting, the same SUV involved in the shootout pulled up at the emergency room at Northwestern Memorial Hospital with a man in his 20s seeking treatment for a gunshot wound to his left knee. About the same time, another man in his 20s walked into Lurie Children's Hospital with a gunshot wound to the lower back.
So they went to two separate hospitals. Wow, those are some smart criminals. So they knew, let me hear that again. So they knew to go to two different hospitals. Is that right? Did they go to two different hospitals?
To his left knee. About the same time, seeking treatment for a gunshot wound to his left knee. At Northwestern Memorial Hospital with a man in his 20s seeking treatment for a gunshot wound to his left knee. About the same time, another man in his 20s walked into Lurie Children's Hospital.
Yeah, they were smart enough to go to two different hospitals. Look at that. So they're smart enough to get a job. They're smart enough to push carts. They're smart enough to clean a floor. They're smart enough. I bet they can take an order. I bet they could be a waiter. But no. Rap music is my inspiration. My community says it's okay and we cape for criminals. Fascinating.
With a gunshot wound to the lower back.
You never know what's going to happen. It's very unfortunate.
Then maybe you should leave.
The two alleged attackers do remain in custody while detectives search for a third. Remember, this is at least the second incident in a week where a legally armed citizen has shot an alleged attacker, trying to avoid becoming a victim of a crime.
Good. Look, the police can't be everywhere. Okay? Your last line of defense, the first line of defense for your life is you. Okay? I don't know when in society we suddenly decided that it was somebody else's responsibility to save Me. I live in Pennsylvania. We have a castle doctrine state. We are a castle doctrine state. If people break in my home, and odds are they're going to be from the black community. I'm from South Philly, all right? I have no issues saying that, okay? That bothers you, then get the fuck off my channel. I've even been home during the middle of a people trying to break in my house, and the police even told me, "Do you have a gun? What were you going to do?" And that was my liberal to conservative moment. Honestly, if two people break in my home, what's a better response time? Reaching for a cell phone or reaching for my gun? In all seriousness, what's probably good? And having the gun doesn't mean you're going to survive. Really, the only benefit you might have is if you're hiding somewhere and all the criminals have to come into a fatal funnel, they're in a line. So, kind of like shooting ducks and fish in a barrel. They're in a straight line. They can't surround us in parts of our house. So, but I've worked out. I've done a temporary home defense scenario before. So, but that's me. I value that. Okay. Anyway, going back to Philly, more stupidity coming from Temple. Let me just share the screen. We have a home invasion right off of Temple's campus. Diversity, guys. This is what you're paying for. You're paying to live in a war zone. Here we go.
Violent home invasion just a few blocks away from Temple's campus. Philadelphia police say one person was killed, two others wounded, including a 15-year-old girl. I'm Sheba Russell. They also tell us the victims are not students. But Kelly, regardless, it is absolutely terrifying here.
Sheba, absolutely terrifying. I can tell you that girl is stable at the hospital. She was shot 4 times in the leg. The other surviving victim, a man in his early 20s, is in critical condition at the hospital tonight. This happened in the middle of the day around 1 p.m. Neighbors, including
1 p.m. in the daytime. There's no fear. There's no fear.
Temple students, are concerned.
I'm right there. I'm like 20 feet away.
Like most Philadelphians on a Sunday afternoon, Joseph Marsico says he was watching the Eagles game. That was interrupted when he heard several gunshots and walked outside to a crime scene.
I don't want to be in a neighborhood where people getting killed. You know what I mean?
Then why are you in North Philly, bro? Oh, the brainwashing must be strong at Temple. They must teach you that black people just don't commit any crime, huh? You don't want to. Let's hear that stupidity one more time. The first thing you did wrong was you heard gunshots and you went outside. I know we're victim blaming now. But when I heard gunshots in Philly, in South Philly, I got on the ground. I'd get in my bathroom because it was tile. You went outside, and let's hear what he said. Let's hear the other stupid shit he says.
I don't want to be in a neighborhood where people getting killed. You know what I mean?
Then why are you in North Philly, dumbass? You should move to Chinatown. You'd be a lot safer, and you know why.
The police say just before 1 p.m., 2 men kicked in the front door of a home on Diamond Street near 18th Street and opened fire inside the house, shooting a 15-year-old girl 4 times and 2 men in their early 20s. One of them, shot in the head, died from his injuries. It's an area where some Temple University students live, just 4 blocks from the edge of campus, like Caleb Jackson, who says he got a TU alert, though the victims were not students.
I texted my 2 roommates asking if they had heard about the incident or if they were.
Oh, this guy's woke. This guy's anti-gun. Oh, you guys, you don't need guns. Guys, black people are oppressed. Poverty creates crime. Poverty's the reason this door was kicked in and these guys just opened fire. Poverty, guys. Poverty.
Involved at all. Luckily, they weren't.
Hours earlier, students got a message from the university about an attempted robbery of a student at gunpoint while they were walking on West Burke Street near 16th Street shortly after midnight. The letter stated that it's similar to an armed robbery from earlier in the week involving 2 students and police are looking into whether there is a connection.
There's definitely been a lot of notifications going to my phone about, oh, you know, armed robbery here, shooting there, probably at least like 4 or 5 times a week. In a way, it's like, you know, what do you expect? But it also is, there should definitely be a measure of safety.
Oh, interesting perspective you have. What do you expect? But there should be a measure of safety. Well, that's an interesting perspective, and I'm glad you said that because now I want to talk about that for a second. So, in other words, what I'm hearing is you're aware you live in North Philadelphia. So, we're just going to call this proximity to blacks. You're aware of who's committing the crime. You're aware of who's arming and robbing and beating and graping and carjacking Temple students. You're aware. The school probably tells you it's not their fault. Poverty, redlining, slavery, post-traumatic slave disorder, generational oppression. They probably call you colonizers. They probably say white silence is violence. Interesting perspective that you think there should be some measure of security. Well, there are colleges where you're allowed to carry. Why do you go to a college in the ghetto in North Philly, in a city where black criminals are not punished by District Attorney Larry Krasner, and when the black criminals are arrested, they'll be released the next day, and you're not even allowed to carry on campus? So let's see. Don't believe me? Oh, don't worry. Let's screen share here. Big Time got the receipts. This is from 2014. This is from Temple. This is Temple Housing, Safety and Security. Here, I'll scroll up. Undergraduate Rights, Responsibilities, and Resources Guide, 2014. Oh, look at all these smiling faces. Guys, we don't guys, we don't live in North Philly. Guys, it's okay. Guys, you're not going to get killed or shot or robbed or graped. Look at this. Being aware of your surroundings is the key to being safe. Utilize campus resources. The OWL shuttle bus runs from 5:30 p.m. to 6 a.m. Use main and well-lit pathways when traveling at night. Don't walk alone. Use the buddy system. Do not venture off campus into unfamiliar neighborhoods. Always follow your instincts. Well, those are some very, very interesting ways that you have to be safe in your college. That's very interesting. Now, why would they be telling you things like that? Oh, wait, I know why. I know why. It's because you're not allowed to defend yourself at Temple. You're just supposed to be a victim. Here we go. Policies and student conduct. Use, possession, sale, or storage of articles and substances that endanger a person's health and or safety in or on university premises. This includes, but is not limited to, firearms, stun guns, rifles, pellets, knives, weapons, ammunition, gun, blah, 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 blah. The university will confiscate any such articles. Any student found in possession of a firearm will receive an interim suspension from Temple University pending the outcome of the student conduct process. This prohibition applies to all persons, even those who possess a license to carry such weapons, except for authorized campus safety services and other law enforcement personnel performing official functions. So you willingly chose. Let's go back. Let's go back because we have to bring up the person's face because it's driving me insane. It's driving me insane. Let's go back to this guy. This guy right here. You willingly chose to go to a school where you're not allowed to defend yourself. You're not even allowed to have mace. Okay? The school teaches you you're evil. The school teaches you you're a colonizer. And the same black people you're told to feel sorry for are the same people killing you. Okay? You don't have to live here. You don't have to go to the school. There are schools in Pennsylvania that allow you to carry. You don't have to go to Temple. Is diversity worth being killed? Not to me. I have family in Jersey, and guess what? I don't go. I don't go unless I can carry. And Jersey and Pennsylvania do not share concealed carry reciprocity. So I don't go. And they've never been in an open drug market. They've never seen a drive-by. They've never been to a block party and seen a DJ get shot because they were playing the wrong music. Anyway, one positive story out of Philly. They interview the captain of the security at in the guard at the Indian-owned gas station. They interview him on Fox, so we're going to play that.
Becoming a huge problem for businesses. One gas station owner has hired armed private security guards to protect the door. Chief Andre Boyer is one of those guards, and he joins me now. I got
finger discipline. Good. Good.
A question for you, sir. Under what circumstances can you open fire with that huge gun you're carrying?
Oh, that big, scary gun. Whoa, I don't feel very comfortable when good guys have guns. We need to take your guns.
Well, yeah, I'm here to...
Does this guy have armed security? When you walk into your studio at Fox, are there men behind desks with handcuffs and guns? Do you say the same thing to them? Well, I don't feel very comfortable sitting at this desk when there's men with guns protecting me. I wonder if I bet he doesn't. I bet you $1,000 he doesn't say that.
Protect my clients and the owner and his employees. If someone walks in this store right now with a...
I'm going to say I did not expect that voice coming out of this guy. Is it just me? A little bit like Tyson.
Weapon and threatens to harm any of them, I can open fire and I will open fire to protect property, liberty, and life.
Based answer.
This is a big move to see guys like you walking around with this heavy-duty weaponry. What's it?
No, it's not. No, it's not. 400 police officers have quit the force in Philly this year. Black criminals, for the most part, are not being punished. What do you expect? Do you expect the Indian guy to just keep letting the black community destroy his store? The same community that won't snitch on the criminals who are doing it, the same community who expects you to build up their community and just give you money and give you resources, but then suddenly when you hurt one of their thuns, all the mammies come out. What you just... And then when you rob all the stores, at this Indian guy who owns like 20-something gas stations, if he leaves, that same community will go, nobody's investing in our community. It's a food desert. Yeah, because you're fucking it up for everybody else. Well, guess what? This guy, it's going to happen. This is what I was talking about. It's going to happen. This guy is already talking to the owner of Wawa. That means Wawa is going to start having armed security. Okay? It's going to happen. It's going to be inevitable. There's going to be some black teens or black local thugs who encounter these armed guards, and there's going to be a shootout. It's going to happen. And guess what? If the thugs get shot and killed, I'm not going to feel sorry for you. It needs to happen. Unfortunately, it needs to happen. Larry Krasner needs to do his fucking job. And Mayor Kinney's answer should not be to take guns away from everybody else. Like when he tried to ban them from rec centers. What the fuck was that going to do? Thank God for the Gun Owners Association of Pennsylvania. They went to court and they got that thrown out. Oh, so one community's committing all the crime. We're not going to punish them, but let's punish all the law-abiding citizens by removing their ability, their Second Amendment right to defend themselves. How the fuck did you get voted into office? Step down.
What's it like in Philadelphia? Is it that bad on a day-to-day basis?
What a stupid fucking question.
With Philadelphia, I've never seen it like this. I've lived here all my life. It hit rock bottom. You have a police commissioner Danielle Outlaw, who basically believes more in painting her fingernails black than finding a solution to fighting crime. You have a DA Larry Krasner, who the street criminals call Uncle Larry Krasner, who's more focused on being a social worker than what it says on his door. His door, when we elected him, says prosecutor. He's not prosecuting. He's being a social worker. And you got a mayor. Oh, let's not even go there. You got a mayor who for 8 years have been promising the citizens of Philadelphia that he's going to do something.
Look at this old fart looking at him. Well, the neighborhood I live in. Oh, yes, stop.
About the homicides, the shootings, and the crimes.
And I give this guy credit. This guy picked up the gun and decided to defend a part of the city. I give this guy a lot of credit. I give you credit.
And he has yet to hold up to that. But he said a couple of things. He said something surprisingly a few weeks ago. He says, I sure can't wait to leave this office, to be a regular citizen again. I say to the mayor, if you're not up to the task, step down and let me take over.
Okay. Have you stopped any robberies yet?
I would love to, because this is just the beginning. My goal is to eventually get Wawa, Walmart. See, because these are where the shootings are happening. See, think about it. Why is, and this is a crazy analogy, I know, but think about it. Fort Knox goal is safe. You know why? Because the outer perimeter, you can't get in. You're going to get stopped before you get in. If Walmart and Wawa were safe on the outer perimeters, and our schools, if they were safe on the outer perimeter, people dying, people getting shot, it wouldn't happen.
Chief Andre Boyer, I think you've made your point big time, and we appreciate you making.
No, big time. I'm big time. That's my channel. All right, so anyway, very based response. Nice follow-up interview. I hope that guy doesn't have to shoot anybody. I really don't, but, you know, private security is becoming big business, big money. And everyone's upset because the black community is upset because the Indian guy was smart, hired a bunch of black guys, and now you have black women and black children shopping at his gas station because they feel safe. It's almost like when a good guy has a gun, it's different. And for the last part of the show, they're coming for the kids. This is going to be a little hard for some people, but it needs to be talked about. Famed TikTok surgeon faces intense backlash from transgender community after alleged maimed patient goes viral. Katrina Buttons. Transgender community has turned on a once revered surgeon specializing in sex change surgeries after a patient posted graphic photos of an allegedly botched operation. I can't say that name. Dr. Sibd Gallagher, Miami-based surgeon specializing in double mastectomy surgeries for transgender identifying patients. So you cut off breasts of children. So you mutilate, so you perform female genital mutilation. Let me fix that for you, Daily Wire. Has been heavily criticized for performing the elective surgery on minors. She has also earned the moniker TikTok surgeon for her advertising methods to have a large social media following. Her detractors have primarily been conservatives and liberals critical of gender ideology, which is complete bullshit. It's not real. But recently, after a former patient went viral with allegations of medical malpractice, the transgender community has responded with outrage towards the doctor. Well, how fucking long did it take you before you realized you're being lied to? You know, I've heard a doctor say, cut off your breasts. And if you didn't want to do that, oh, just get breast implants. That was a doctor who should not have a medical license to practice on medicine on anyone ever in the whole world. On August 2022, I flew to Miami, Florida to get top surgery from Dr. Gallagher, wrote Rylan, a 23-year-old trans-identified female on the self-publishing platform Medium. 3 weeks later, a local surgeon had to rush me in to remove over half a foot of dead, rotting tissue. Gallagher dismissed every concern, including hollow cavities that formed on my ripped open incision. Rylan came forward on November 22nd, describing her ordeal in detail with graphic images of severely infected wounds. She also included screenshots of the email correspondence with Dr. Gallagher. As of December 8th, Ryland's viral video on TikTok has amassed 4.5 million views, nearly 100,000 likes, and over 14,000 comments, with the vast majority of the messages expressing sympathy and outrage. As word spread across social media of Ryland's story, some transgender TikTokers made their own videos warning others of Dr. Gallagher. Well, it's about fucking time. What took you so fucking long? I'm sorry your parents failed you. Your parents thought it was more important to be socially accepted than to stand up for their children. If you're a part of the trans community or you're an ally, I'm not your fucking ally. I don't take part in delusion. I need you to heed this warning and beware of Dr. Gallagher, began one TikTok user. If you're considering getting top surgery done by Dr. Gallagher, who you might have noticed on TikTok, don't, said another TikToker. This person is not to be trusted when it comes to your health care, warned yet another user on the platform. Ryland, who lives in Ohio, said she sought out the Miami-based doctor because she is willing to operate on overweight patients. Overweight. Eating disorder. Possibly. Is there a connection? She's one of the only gender surgeons with no BMI cap in my country, said Ryland. Great. So she can not only cut off your breasts, but she can do so she can staple your stomach all on the same day, too. 2 for 1, guys. But after just 4 days, Ryland began to notice complications from the surgery. When she sent a photo of her oozing wound with extensive black and purple discoloration on her left side, Gallagher assured her it was just bruising. On the day of her follow-up appointment, the incision had reopened and was bleeding significantly. Ryland described bleeding through her clothes and onto the exam room table as Gallagher minimized everything. Let me translate. After the surgery, they don't care about you. You're a number. Do you understand that yet? Ryland alleges that Dr. Gallagher called the wound a blowhole and made a crude joke about menstruating. Oh, great bedside manner. I was confused because her TikTok page has videos where she says she's never had an incision break. Wow, a doctor lied? That's unbelievable. 3 weeks after surgery and back home in Ohio, Ryland was in excruciating pain when she was rushed to the emergency room after giant coagulated blood clots, quote, the size of golf balls, end quote, began sloughing off of her wounds. Her incisions had begun opening in several locations that would become, quote, gaping abscesses, end quote. When Ryland emailed photos of her deteriorating condition from the hospital, Dr. Gallagher sent a reply the following morning, which Ryland claims minimized her concerns and instructed her that there was, quote, no need for the ER, unquote. Throughout the ordeal, Ryland had sent Dr. Gallagher photos of her gaping wounds, to which she replied, I'm not going to say that anymore, looking good, not infected. Ultimately, Ryan would have over 6 inches of infected necrotic tissue removed from her torso. So right there's a lawsuit. If one doctor will not be a pussy FAGGOT and point out to this doctor, you couldn't identify necrotic tissue, you don't deserve a license, but they won't. I went under anesthesia 3 days later and woke up to a nurse telling me I could have gone septic without the surgery, said Ryland. Over half a foot of my left side has been killed by a bacteria that has a high mortality rate. I don't wish that upon you. I wish you had people who cared about you and told you not to have the surgery. I had a member in my family addicted to drugs. You know what I did? I put that person in a car with 2 other people and we dragged them to a methadone clinic. That's what you do when you love somebody. You help them. Sometimes by force. After the ordeal, Ryland sought the services of a medical malpractice lawyer in Miami who informed her that Dr. Gallagher had opted out of medical malpractice insurance. Florida is one of 32 U.S. states that do not require physicians to carry medical liability insurance, which protects physicians from medical malpractice lawsuits. The payout would not be enough to cover the cost of the case for a law firm, so lawyers are highly unlikely to help me sue her without that insurance, said Ryland. I was told she likely utilizes this loophole on purpose, knowing it leaves her victims powerless. Since the video went viral, dozens of users have noticed that their critical comments on Dr. Gallagher's TikTok videos have been deleted. Some users were even blocked. Huh. Almost like TikTok is protecting the mutilator. Almost like TikTok is protecting the doctor who destroys the lives of children and adults. You cannot spam her comments, said one TikTok user. She deletes all of them, but it just shows how guilty she is. She changed her TikTok account name as well. Yeah, she also lied about necrotic tissue. She lied. One surgeon had to cut it off. The nurse and the surgeon that she went to could identify necrotic tissue, but this doctor said not infected. That's a lie. Right there, boom, lawsuit. She can't identify necrotic tissue. She can't identify a bacterial or infection. She should not be practicing medicine. Clearly, if you can't identify when a wound is infected, you can smell it. You can see it. You can see the pus and everything coming out of it. If you've ever treated a wound before, I mean, that even nurses can do that. A first-year nursing student can identify a wound that is infected. You can see it. Gallagher responded to the viral outrage with a video of her own on November 29th, apologizing for her bedside manner. You don't have any. But neglecting to address her purportedly ill-fated medical advance, which she explained was due to patient confidentiality. Right. A lot of you guys have been asking me to comment about the recent patient story that was posted online. It's one of my patients, Gallagher began. And the reason I've been so quiet about it is the confidentiality laws here in the United States are very strict, and I cannot discuss any medical facts about the case. Doesn't stop you from bragging, though, does it? According to Social Blade, a social media analytics website, Gallagher had approximately 273,600 TikTok followers in mid-November, and has lost at least 16,000 followers since the story went viral on November 22nd. Since posting my story on other social media platforms, I've had countless former patients of hers reach out to me with harrowingly similar stories. Oh, wow, this isn't the first person whose life you destroyed and body you've mutilated? Oh, wow, fascinating. Many of them, including myself, needed an intervention from a secondary healthcare provider to avoid either death or more harm. Yet those healthcare providers will not speak out. Coward. Ryland still identifies as transgender and shared her story to keep the trans community safe. Oh boy. In a September interview with the New York Times, Gallagher has said, wow, so you talked to the New York Times. Gallagher has said she performed between 400 to 500 double mastectomy surgeries in the last year, 13 of which were on minors as young as 13 years old. Gallagher told the New York Times that most of her patients find her through TikTok. So she openly admits that she's performed female genital mutilation on minors. She confesses it. So patient confidentiality, sure. Okay. So when it fits your delusion, it's okay. But when it goes against your delusion, oh, somehow, now suddenly the law has to step in and protect you, right? In October, 5 organizations led by Jen Specht filed a complaint against Gallagher with the Federal Trade Commission for allegedly engaging in deceptive marketing to minors. Oh, yeah, no shit. Gallagher is accused of claiming that double mastectomies on healthy breasts are proven safe, effective, and medically necessary. Yeah, maybe if they have like stage 3 cancer, like breast cancer, yeah, yes. In that case, yes. Look, if a woman has cancer and it's spreading through her breasts, unfortunately, yes, that's terrible. And I don't wish that on anybody. But perfectly healthy breasts don't need to be cut off. This woman is a psychopath. A Florida lawyer is seeking information from past patients of Dr. Gallagher in order to file a formal complaint with the Florida Attorney General. In an interview with Redux magazine, Kendra Paris of Paris Law in Orlando, Florida, said she is pursuing a case against Gallagher after hearing reports of potentially unethical, improper behavior from the surgeon. Dr. Whatever Gallagher, Sid Gallagher, the Florida Health Department, and the Florida Surgeon General did not respond to the Daily Wire's requests for comment in time for publication. Fucking disgusting. So anyway, I'm big time, and that's news to me.